Hello, welcome to Return to Self. My name's Alana, and if we haven't met before, then it's lovely to meet you. Now, today, as I sat down to pull out some tarot cards, I got the impression that your self esteem has significantly improved. They are showing me what looks like a comb, and I think that some of you might be clearing out your aura at the moment and experiencing a bit of a frequency change as a result of that. You're also giving me the words forgiveness and hurts. So I think in relation to forgiving hurts, perhaps there's past situations that you need to let go of at the moment. They do show me what looks like a echidna is what I'm seeing. And the spikes to me indicate that there might be times when you are being a bit spiky in order to put up boundaries. So this might be an area to look into a little bit more, just where you are sort of feeling a bit threatened, I guess, whether it's emotionally or physically. It's probably more emotional is the impression that I'm getting, but they are also showing me to cut cords with people. So if there's a person or a situation that comes to mind while you are listening to this, it's probably the person or situation that you need to cut cords with. So you can just visualize a pair of scissors, if you like, cutting a cord between you and the other person or you and the situation. The more you do that and redirect your energy and attention, the less likely you are to experience that draining of energy. The first card I pulled was the Eight of Wands. And for me, this feels like you have recently experienced some fast moving energy. Eight of Wands always come to me when there's sudden changes, sometimes unexpected changes. When there's new ideas, something's about to take off. It's usually very fast, very fiery energy. Usually it's a positive thing. It doesn't usually come up in relation to some negative kind of circumstances, but it's definitely something sudden. Next card after this, we have the World. And basically with this one, I feel like you have been through a really big change in terms of your perspective, basically. I feel like you have been through a big rebirth. I think that you are at the stage where you have completed a lot of lessons. These lessons were probably karmic lessons, I suspect, since we have Judgment and Pluto there, that you have had to master. What I do see as well is that you've had to master shadow aspects of yourself so that you could get the gifts that come as a result of clearing out the shadow side. I think that there's sort of probably skills, talents, abilities and things like that you've been able to unearth as a result of doing some shadow work. I definitely feel like you have been through an awakening here with this angel in the background as well. Spiritual transformation. I think that this is something to be really proud of. I think that this is a big achievement, especially overcoming some really big karmic lessons and challenges and things like that. They are showing me that this has taken quite a while to work through. I do see the wombat, which means you have been plodding along with this. I don't think that there is much more for you to learn from this situation because we are moving into death at the end here, and for me that signifies an end of a big lesson, I guess. I do see a phoenix in the background in this card, which signifies rebirth as well. I do think that this is an end to a major challenge in your life. I think that this has probably been quite a hard time for you because I see in this strength card a lion in the background that doesn't look too happy. And I feel like the majority of you that you have kind of been experiencing Groundhog Day. I feel like you have been stuck in this very sort of sticky and challenging energy for quite some time. I think it could be months. For some of you, it could even be years. But it's interesting because I do see here as well a woman in the background that looks like she has got some sort of orange type dress on. And with that, I get a lot more emphasis on the sacral chakra and kind of coming into your creativity, embracing your talents and your gifts and things like that, and actually kind of starting to not show off, but allowing yourself to be seen. I think there's actually a desire there to be seen now as well, whereas previously I think you preferred to kind of be hidden away. That might have been because you were going through a lot of karmic lessons and things like that, and perhaps you just didn't want to be around other people's energies. I do see a snake on this card, and I think that the snake is that transmutation process that you've been through. You're now kind of shedding yourself of all of those shadows aspects that have made it hard for you to shine or to be yourself in a sense. And you're now experiencing that kind of rebirth and reawakening process. The cards after that I pulled out were moving on. So I definitely feel like this is just you are moving on from a major chapter of your life. I do feel like you are becoming a lot more embodied at the moment. I do feel like you are grounding into yourself a lot more. And I feel like this is probably something to do with the self-love work that you have been doing. I think that you have been focusing on clearing out old, dense heart energies that have prevented you from, I guess, sort of receiving more love into your life. Also from you being able to express love as well. Since typically when you have a blocked heart chakra, it blocks you off from giving and receiving. But I do feel that you are becoming a lot more solid in your sense of self. And the last card that we had here was Rejoice in Celebration. I think that this is just taking the opportunity to really give yourself a pat on the back. I very much feel like your spirit team are really happy with the progress that you've made and that they want to congratulate you on the amount of stuff that you've had to move through. I do really feel like what you have been through energetically has been really intense and really trying for a lot of you, is what I'm being told. They're saying to me that those energies that you have been working through have been really dense, archaic energies. And that's something that is challenging. It's hard to work through your shadow side. It's hard to work through archaic energies. It's hard to work through your own masks and things like that. It can bring up a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions that a lot of people don't want to feel. They'd rather avoid it than actually put a magnifying glass to their own self and to their own issues. So I very much think that you should be happy with yourself. You may still get some residual sort of emotional energy coming up at times, but I very much feel like this is quite diluted in comparison to past energy. I do definitely feel like this is now a time of rejuvenation and renewal with all of these green heart energies coming through and also people celebrating. So now is probably the time to let your hair down and really enjoy yourself, enjoy this moment, enjoy your progress as you move on into the next phase of your life. That next phase hasn't shown itself yet in the cards, but I'm sure as we move on into the future that it will start to appear in the tarot readings that I do. I will leave it there. Thank you for listening. And if you could please like and subscribe, that would be great. Thanks a lot for that. Bye for now.